Stop wasting your precious energy on things that don't serve you. Let me tell you where you need to pull back, because your peace is more valuable than anything else. First, people who drain you. You have to understand something very clearly. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people are not just bad for you. They are heavy, draining, exhausting. They don't come into your life to add anything. They come to take, to pull, to feed off the light you carry. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself giving pieces of yourself away until you don't even recognize the person you've become. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That friend who only calls when they need something. That person who makes every conversation about them, who never asks how you're doing, who never celebrates your wins. You walk into a room with them and you walk out feeling like the life has been sucked right out of you. That is not love. That is not support. That is a transaction where the only one giving is you. And the truth is, you have been giving far too much. The problem is you've been told to feel guilty for pulling away. You think that being kind means allowing people unlimited access to you, but kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. Let me say that again. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. There are people who will never change because they don't want to. They thrive off your exhaustion. They thrive when you overextend yourself for them. And the more you try to help, the more they take, the more they demand, the more you shrink. It's like pouring water into a cup with holes in it. It will never fill. No matter how much you give, they will always want more. You have to start valuing your energy like it's your most expensive currency, because it is. Energy is life. Where your energy goes, your life goes. If all of it is being poured into people who drain you, then of course you feel stuck. Of course you feel empty. Of course you feel like nothing is moving forward. The reason is not that you're not capable. The reason is that you're wasting the most powerful thing you have, your focus, your drive, your life force, on the wrong people. And here's the thing, when you finally pull your energy back from the people who drain you, you'll feel an incredible shift. It will feel uncomfortable at first, because you've conditioned yourself to put others first, to overextend, to people please. But once that guilt passes, what comes after is peace. A kind of peace you've never felt before. You'll wake up lighter. You'll breathe easier. You'll have space in your mind for your own thoughts, your own goals, your own growth. And then you'll realize you were never tired of life. You were just tired of the people you were giving your life to. Stop telling yourself that you owe them your presence, your time, your energy. You don't. You owe yourself protection. You owe yourself the love you keep trying to give to everyone else. When you protect your energy, you protect your future. When you stop entertaining those who drain you, you make room for those who inspire you. Some of you are holding on to people because you think walking away makes you heartless. But here's the truth, walking away from people who drain you doesn't make you heartless. It makes you smart. It makes you powerful. It makes you someone who knows their worth. The people who truly love you will never leave you feeling empty. They will give back. They will pour into you. They will fill you as much as you fill them. So ask yourself this, after I spend time with this person, do I feel lighter or heavier? Do I feel inspired or drained? Do I feel seen or do I feel invisible? That answer will tell you everything you need to know. Stop ignoring what your body already knows. Energy never lies. It's time to stop wasting your life force on people who don't deserve it. You are not a charger for broken souls who refuse to fix themselves. You are not a crutch for people who don't even want to stand on their own. You are not free therapy for those who never intend to listen. You are a human being with dreams, with power, with potential, and you cannot rise if you're constantly weighed down by those who benefit from your weakness. So protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. When you guard it, you grow. When you choose carefully who gets access to you, you flourish. When you stop watering dead plants, you finally have the time to grow your own garden. That is the truth. Second, arguments that lead nowhere. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every opinion needs your response. And not every person deserves the privilege of your explanation. The moment you realize this, your life becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and your energy becomes untouchable. There are people who live for conflict. They breathe it. They thrive on it. Their only form of power is pulling you into arguments that drain you, frustrate you, and distract you from your real purpose. They are not looking for resolution. They are looking for reaction. They don't care about the truth. They care about attention. And when you give them that, you hand them your power on a silver platter.
You need to understand that silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away without a word. Do you know why? Because not every insult deserves a defense. Not every attack deserves a counter. The more you react, the more you show that your peace can be disturbed. But the moment you choose not to engage, you send a message louder than words. You don't have access to me. You don't control me. I am not yours to play with.
Think about it. How many times have you wasted hours replaying a conversation in your head, thinking of what you should have said, what you could have said, how you could have proven your point? And for what? Did it change the other person? No. Did it bring you peace? No. It only drained you. That is what pointless arguments do. They steal your clarity and leave you stuck in cycles of overthinking. There is strength in choosing your battles wisely. When you argue with someone who has no interest in understanding, you are essentially arguing with a wall, and a wall doesn't care how much energy you throw at it. It will not move. So why waste your breath? Why waste your emotions? You don't need to defend yourself to everyone. People will believe what they want to believe. Some people will twist your words no matter how carefully you speak. Some people will villainize you no matter how pure your intentions are. And if you spend your life trying to correct every misunderstanding, you will run out of time to actually live.
The truth is, people reveal themselves in arguments. The one who screams over you is showing you they don't value your voice. The one who constantly interrupts is showing you they don't care about your perspective. The one who only listens to respond, not to understand, is showing you they are not here to connect. They are here to win. And when someone is obsessed with winning an argument instead of building understanding, you will always lose because peace is not part of their goal.
So stop stepping into battles that have no reward. Your silence is not defeat. It is wisdom. The ones who constantly need to defend themselves are the ones who are still insecure. But when you are grounded in your truth, you don't need to convince anyone. You know who you are, and you let your actions speak louder than your words ever could. Walking away is not weakness. It is mastery. It takes strength to stay calm when provoked. It takes discipline to choose silence when every part of you wants to prove your point. It takes maturity to understand that peace is more valuable than being right. And here's what happens when you stop engaging in pointless arguments. Your life expands. Suddenly, you have more mental space. You're not carrying the weight of other people's chaos. You're not replaying scenarios in your head. You're not wasting your creativity and passion on proving yourself. Instead, you're investing that energy into your goals, your healing, your growth, and that is where your power belongs. The truth is, people will always talk. They will always have opinions. Some will misunderstand you intentionally. Some will twist your words because it makes them feel better about themselves. You cannot control that. What you can control is your response. You can choose to protect your energy instead of handing it away in battles that don't matter. Ask yourself this: will this argument matter in a year? Will it matter in a month? Will it even matter tomorrow? If the answer is no, then why are you spending hours, days, maybe even weeks stuck in the energy of it? You need to become selective with your focus. Because where your focus goes, your life grows. And if your focus is stuck in meaningless battles, then don't be surprised when you feel like your life isn't moving. You are not here to prove yourself to small minds. You are not here to fight every critic. You are not here to waste your brilliance in petty arguments. You are here to build, to rise, to create, to lead. And leaders don't argue with everyone. They understand that their time is too precious, their energy too valuable, their vision too important. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, pause, ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my peace? If the answer is no, then walk away. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to know that your life is bigger than this moment.
Never forget, silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers. Silence is power. And when you master the art of walking away from meaningless arguments, you master the art of protecting your energy. Third, the past. You are not living in the past anymore. But the problem is, your mind is. You keep replaying old memories like they hold the key to your future, when in reality, they are the chains keeping you stuck. The past is heavy, and as long as you carry it, you will never move freely.
You keep telling yourself, if only I had done this differently, if only I had made that mistake, if only things had worked out another way. Stop. Enough. The past is over. It is gone. And every time you revisit it, every time you dig it back up, you are giving it power it doesn't deserve. You cannot rewrite what has already happened. You cannot go back and undo the choices, the words, the situations that broke you. And yet you keep bleeding energy into memories that don't even exist anymore. They're just shadows in your mind. But here's the thing, shadows only grow darker when you keep shining your focus on them. The past is not your prison unless you decide to stay locked inside of it. The truth is, your past is not the enemy. It was the lesson. It was the experience that shaped you. It was the fire that forged you. The only problem is that you keep confusing it with your identity. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. Stop asking why things went wrong. Stop punishing yourself for mistakes you made when you didn't know any better. You are not supposed to be perfect. You are supposed to grow. The fact that you regret certain choices means you've already evolved past them. That is proof that you've learned. So why are you still punishing yourself for something that is already behind you? You don't live in the same house you grew up in. You don't wear the same clothes you wore as a child. So why are you still carrying around the same guilt, the same pain, the same stories from years ago? They don't fit you anymore. And the longer you hold on, the heavier they become. Every time you replay the past, you are wasting the present. You're not just remembering, you're reliving, you're giving those same old wounds fresh life. And the irony is, the only thing hurting you now is not the past itself, but your unwillingness to let it die. Do you know how much energy you would have if you stopped feeding the past? All that mental space you waste on regrets, you could pour into building the future you dream of. But instead, you keep watering the dead. And no matter how much you water it, the past will not grow into something new. It is done. Let it stay buried. The strongest version of you does not look backward. The strongest version of you knows that looking back too long is what slows you down. Think about it. When you drive, the rear view mirror is small for a reason. It is there for quick glances, not for staring. If you focus on it too long, you'll crash. And that is exactly what happens when you keep looking behind you. You crash into opportunities, into growth, into love that is right in front of you. The past is supposed to teach you, not trap you. It gave you lessons. It gave you scars that turned into wisdom. But you cannot build your life staring at what's already finished. That's like reading the same chapter of a book over and over and wondering why the story isn't moving forward. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Not because they deserve it, because you deserve peace. Carrying anger, regret, or resentment only poisons you, not them. Let it go. Not for them. For you. Because the truth is, your future can't begin until you stop dragging your past into it. Every time you say, I can't move on, what you really mean is, I am afraid of letting go. But holding on is not strength. It is fear. True strength is surrender. True strength is looking at your pain and saying, you taught me what I needed to know, and now you don't get to control me anymore.
You are not meant to repeat the same story forever. You are meant to write a new one. You are not defined by who you were. You are defined by who you choose to be now. That heartbreak, that failure, that disappointment. Yes, it shaped you, but it does not own you. The past is not your home. It was only a place you passed through.
So stop dragging it with you. The door is open. Walk forward. Every step you take into your future is a choice to release the weight of yesterday. Every time you choose peace over regret, you reclaim your power. Every time you refuse to look back, you give yourself the gift of freedom. Your past is a story. Your future is a blank page and you are the one holding the pen. The question is, are you still going to let yesterday write your tomorrow? Or are you finally going to close that chapter and begin the one you were always meant to live? Fourth, comparison. Comparison is a thief. It robs you silently, slowly, until one day you wake up and realize you've been living someone else's life instead of your own. You scroll, you watch, you observe, and without even knowing it, you start measuring yourself against people who are not you, who don't have your path, your struggles, your destiny. And then you wonder why you feel empty. You need to hear this. Nobody is you. Nobody has your story. Nobody has your exact journey, and nobody can walk your path the way you do. So why are you trying to measure yourself by their ruler? Their timeline is not your timeline. Their blessings are not your blessings. Their struggles are not your struggles. The moment you compare, you shrink yourself. You take your light and dim it because you believe someone else's shine means there's less for you. That is a lie.
There is no shortage of success. There is no shortage of happiness. Life is not a competition. It is an experience. But you keep making it a race, running in circles trying to catch up with people who are not even running the same track as you, and then you get tired, you burn out, you lose sight of your own vision because you're too busy staring at theirs.
Think about how much time you've wasted comparing yourself, looking at someone else's body and hating yours. Looking at someone else's relationship and questioning yours. Looking at someone else's achievements and suddenly feeling like what you've done is worthless. And for what? Do you think tearing yourself down will magically put you ahead? No, it only steals your energy, your confidence, your peace. The truth is, comparison blinds you to your own blessings. You can't even see what's good in your life because you're too busy looking at someone else's. You have things right now that someone else is praying for, and yet you overlook them because your focus is on what you don't have. That is how comparison destroys gratitude. It makes you believe you are lacking when in reality, you are already abundant. Understand this. People only show you what they want you to see. You look at their highlight reel and compare it to your behind the scenes. You see their smiles, but not their tears. You see their wins, but not their struggles. You see the finished product, but not the sleepless nights it took to get there. So the person you're comparing yourself to, even they are comparing themselves to someone else. Even they are fighting battles you cannot see. So why waste your life chasing illusions? Why waste your joy trying to match a picture that isn't even real? You will never be them. And that's the most beautiful truth of all. You are not supposed to be them. You are supposed to be you. Your strength, your beauty, your gifts, they are unique. Nobody else has them in the exact way you do. And when you finally stop comparing, you will realize that being different is your greatest power. Comparison is the reason so many people never start. They look at someone who's already ahead and think, I'll never get there. But what they don't see is that person was once a beginner too. Everyone starts somewhere. Everyone has to take the first step. If you keep comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, of course you'll feel behind. But you're not behind, you're just beginning. And beginnings are powerful because they mean you're still growing, still evolving, still becoming. Do you want to know the secret to peace? Focus on your lane. The moment you stop watching everyone else, you finally have the energy to pour into yourself. The more you pour into yourself, the more you rise. And the more you rise, the less you even notice what anyone else is doing because you're too busy building your own empire. You don't need to compete. You don't need to compare. You need to commit to your journey, your goals, your growth. That is where your power lies. You are not in a race. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Trust that. Believe that. And remember this. Someone else's success does not take away from yours. There is enough room for everyone to shine. The sun doesn't look at the moon and think I'm not enough. The moon doesn't look at the stars and shrink. They all shine in their own time, in their own way. And so do you. So stop scrolling and sinking into envy. Stop looking outward and start looking inward. Ask yourself, what do I want? What makes me feel alive? What do I already have that I can build on? That is where your focus belongs. Because the moment you stop comparing, you free yourself. You stop being distracted. You stop feeling small and you start becoming unstoppable. You are not in competition with anyone. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. That's it. If you're growing, you're winning. If you're evolving, you're winning. If you're not where you used to be, you're already ahead. That is the truth. So stop wasting your energy measuring yourself against others. Their journey is theirs, yours is yours, and you will never find happiness looking sideways. Your happiness is forward, your peace is forward, your power is forward. Look ahead, stay in your lane, and rise like only you can. And fifth, seeking validation. You keep waiting for people to clap for you. You keep waiting for them to tell you you're good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. And that's why you feel stuck. That's why you feel empty, because you gave away the power to define your worth to people who don't even know themselves. Let me tell you the truth. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you step into real freedom. You don't need anyone's permission to live your life. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. You don't need applause to know you're valuable. If you keep waiting for people to validate you, you'll be waiting forever, because people are inconsistent. One day they love you, the next day they judge you. One day they cheer for you, the next day they criticize you. And if your worth depends on them, then your peace will always be unstable. You've been trained to believe that approval equals value. You think, if they like me, I must be enough. If they notice me, I must matter. But that's a trap. That's how you lose yourself. That's how you start living a life that doesn't even belong to you. You shape yourself to fit their opinions. You silence yourself to avoid their judgment. You shrink yourself so they'll accept you. And slowly, piece by piece, you disappear. The truth is, the people you're trying so hard to impress are not even paying attention. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves, about how they're being perceived, about their own insecurities. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. And yet you waste your life performing for an audience that doesn't even care. You know what's more powerful than validation? Self-acceptance. When you look in the mirror and say, I approve of me. When you stop begging for scraps of recognition and instead recognize yourself. When you realize that your worth has never been up for debate. It has always been there, untouched, unshaken. That's when you finally become unstoppable. Because here's the thing, validation is addictive. The more you get it, the more you crave it. It becomes a drug, but like every drug, the high doesn't last. You always need more, and more, and more, until you're exhausted, empty, and desperate. But when you detach from validation, when you don't need anyone to clap for you, you walk in a freedom most people will never experience. You don't chase approval, you embody it. You live in a way where your existence itself is enough. You have to understand this. Some people will never validate you no matter what you do. You could give them the world and they'd still say it's not enough. You could shine your brightest and they'd still try to dim you. Why? Because some people benefit from you doubting yourself. If you will see your value, they can control you, use you, manipulate you. That's why validation is dangerous. It keeps you trapped in cycles of pleasing people who secretly hope you'll never wake up to your own power. But once you stop seeking it, everything changes. Suddenly, their opinions don't shake you. Their silence doesn't bother you. Their criticism doesn't stop you because you know who you are and nothing they say can touch that. That is real power. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to perform for anyone. You don't need to keep asking, am I enough? The answer is yes. You were enough the moment you were born. You've always been enough. The only problem is you've been looking outward for confirmation instead of looking inward for truth. Think about it. Every great person, every leader, every innovator, every trailblazer was criticized before they were celebrated. If they had waited for validation, they would have never moved. They would have stayed silent, small, unseen, but they didn't wait for applause. They acted, and the world caught up later. You cannot build a great life if you're constantly chasing approval. You cannot rise if your every step depends on whether people cheer or boo. You cannot lead if you're still begging to be liked. At some point, you have to decide that being authentic matters more than being accepted. At some point, you have to choose yourself, even if no one else does. And here's the irony. The moment you stop seeking validation, that's when it comes. People start noticing you when you don't need to be noticed. They start respecting you when you don't crave their respect. Because energy doesn't lie. Confidence is magnetic. And confidence only comes when you validate yourself first. So stop begging for approval. Stop waiting for people to crown you. Stop living for applause. Validate yourself. Approve of yourself. Crown yourself. Walk into every room like you belong there, because you do. Don't let the fear of being misunderstood hold you back. Don't let the lack of recognition make you doubt. Keep moving, keep building, keep becoming. You don't need their claps. You don't need their nods. You don't need their words. You are already enough. And the day you finally believe that fully, completely, is the day you become untouchable.